Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news. I hope you guys all enjoy. We can just cut past the chase, guys. Thank you all very much for 10,000 subscribers. And as you guys know, I promised you all, and you guys apparently wanted the color pink, so I've gone ahead and done it. So I just one last thank you to all of you guys who have subscribed so far, and also been watching the CSGO videos. Welcome back to the daily CSGO news channel, guys. I appreciate you all very much, but there's many more important things to talk about than this, guys. The first of which out there is Astralis, who in my books have now confirmed themselves a CSGO era, and I would love for you guys to comment down below and try and argue against this so far. If you guys did watch ESL Pro League Season 8 finals this past weekend, they were absolutely outstanding. A lot of big upsets out there. I wouldn't say necessarily the best gameplay, but so far we have certainly confirmed our top two best teams on Earth. Spoiler alert coming in here, 3, 2, 1. Astralis and Liquid are certainly by far and away our number 1 and number 2 teams, with Astralis above and beyond anyone else, guys. And again, like I said before, have certainly, in my books, I don't know if you guys probably should agree with me, in my opinion, of course, just my opinion. You guys can try and argue down below which team out there, possibly in CSGO, has ever had an era like this one. Of course, a major upcoming, guys. If Astralis takes that, I mean, they certainly mark themselves in the history books of Counter-Strike forever, and they already probably have. I mean, you just look at the year these guys are having. It is literally unbelievable so far, this being their 9th Premier victory so far in 2018 alone. We look at several top teams out there, they won't win 9 Premier events in their careers, in their history of CSGO. What they have done this year has been remarkable, and they have certainly, in my pages, guys, marked themselves as the best CSGO team ever. Again, like I said before, guys, this is their 9th Premier victory this year in 2018 alone. ESL Pro League Season 8, Season 7 for ESL Pro League, ECS Season 6 and Season 5. We have DreamHack Marseille, we have Blast Pro Istanbul, we have IEM Chicago, we have E-League Premier, we have the Faceit Major, and potentially our next major at Katowice. If they win that, I mean, that's just remarkable, guys. That is 9 Premier victories, totaling up to over $3 million in prize pool earnings. The single largest payout for the Intel Grand Slam, as they've actually marked that in their books. The single largest payout for a year of CSGO for a team ever by a landslide has now been solidified by Astralis, guys, and they do so in dominant fashion. If you guys look throughout the entire tournament, and feel free to leave comments down below, or you guys can skip past the brief tournament breakdown we'll have right now, they did so in very dominant fashion. The grand finals, no surprise against Liquid. They have now met up in grand finals this year alone 5 times. Astralis winning all 5 of those matchups by pretty dominant fashion. This one going 3-1 in favor of Astralis. I know a lot of you guys might argue against me, so again, the comment section is wide open. You guys can disagree all you want, but this being a 3-1 series, on paper, it actually looks decently close. A lot of 16-10, 16-11 finishes. Inferno, Mirage, I do believe at certain times Liquid looked like they could take those maps, but at the end of the day, guys, when you take away some of those pistol rounds for Liquid on those 2 maps, being Inferno and Mirage, this series was really not close. But still, hold up your end for Liquid, guys. They are certainly your top 2 team in the world, your number 2 team in the world, and the only team I believe at this point in time who could even challenge Astralis the way they did. If you guys watched the entire series, there were so many clutch moments, not just by Zipex, by the entire Astralis lineup, well, you know, most of the Astralis lineup, so many clutch plays that saved them and actually made this series seemingly unclose. Again, you could actually go both ways, right? If Liquid don't win those pistol rounds, maybe not the close series we saw, but if Astralis not clutched the amount of clutches they had, the same thing goes for that. But again, you also look at the history speaking. Like I said before, guys, Liquid have now faced off against Astralis this year alone 5 times in grand finals. They have lost all 5 times, but besides that, guys, Liquid consistently placing top 2 is a showman of how great this team, how consistent this team is, and they deserve that number 2 spot for sure. Because besides those 5 times, there's actually an additional time on top of that. They have 6 second place finishes in 2018. Again, by far and away better than most other teams out there in terms of placements. And it's just crazy to see where we're at currently in CSGO, guys. I have never felt so confident in one team being the best team, at least not in a long time, guys. So, I mean, what do you guys compare this to in terms of eras? The NIP era, their long, what is it, 67 map win streak. You also look to Fnatic, other teams like, of course, SK Gaming. This one, though, definitely tops the record books, and it's certainly been amazing to watch. I cannot wait to see where these guys go, and if they fall off, or it's really not a matter of them falling off, but other teams trying to catch up, and that does bring into arguments out there of the other teams that showed up for this tournament. There were some slight surprises. I think, in my own opinion, guys, Na'Vi not looking up to par. We could actually look at a lot of their close matches as well. They got absolutely destroyed by Mouse Sports, 16-6, 16-4. They almost lost their opening match to Team Order. They actually won that by a pretty insane comeback. Also, their series against Ghost Gaming, they actually had an overtime win on map 2 to actually actually win that series eventually. So you could say that series could have gone either way. They did not look very good there. And that matchup against Ghost Gaming, they just barely beat Ghost Gaming as well to actually make playoffs. Although they did place top 6 here, guys, and actually make playoffs, congrats to them. Against Liquid, they looked, in my opinion, some of the worst Na'Vi I've ever seen. Zeus actually combining against those two maps, or across those two maps, for just over 10 frags. I think it was actually 11 frags. On map 1, I believe he went 3 and 15. So you really can question where this roster is. But on top of that, though, you see other teams out there still looking pretty consistent. I think Ghost Gaming is still on the rise. It's always a shame to see a team like that having to play with a coach for the minor, or the closed qualifier for the minor. I'd love to see where those guys could go, and I think they certainly, with Steel in that lineup, could actually make the North American side of the major qualifier. So it's really cool to see some teams out there really stepping it up. Other teams out there like Na'Vi kind of in a limbo right now. You could say Big is in a limbo as well. I currently love where CSGO is. You guys can give your opinion down below as well, but there is never in my point in history of CSGO ever been a point where I've been so confident that Astralis is by far and away our best team. Liquid closely follows. Then you throw in FaZe and Na'Vi. MIBR looking a bit lost right now in terms of direction. They show up one series and then not the next. I love where CSGO is right now, guys, and ESL Pro League Season 8 champions are Astralis, and what they're doing right now, it literally has me speechless. But anyway, I know when I do recaps, I spend way too much time rambling, guys. Other big news has been happening for CSGO, and also to preface as well, guys, we will have a CSGO news episode every day this week. There are so many great things going on. I cannot wait to make episodes every single day for all of you guys, and one of them will be all about Danger Zone. A big update out there, guys. Faceit has already added Danger Zone to their match play, which is crazy. They've also done one big favor for all of you guys who don't like Valve's mode so far. This is really, I don't know if this is competition for Danger Zone or helps out Danger Zone as well. They've added increased HP and increased ammo, but it's amazing to see how fast these guys have actually added these updates. Also on top of that, guys, a little bit of a dummy update. Actually, last night, about 20 hours ago, there was a post to apparently the blog site, currently down for CSGO. Do not take this as any hint, guys. The blog site is currently down at the point of me recording this. There was, though, pictures of cake on the website, but apparently, according to information out there, guys, this is dummy content, so it's not meant to be taken seriously, and it was not meant to be posted in the first place. So it's not going to be Operation Cake. Don't take it too seriously, guys. But of course, other than that, some huge news out there is kNg. Such a long time later, he has now taken, towards the end of 2018, his time to Twitter to reflect and apologize for all of his wrongs. And to be quite honest, I honestly forgot about all the things this guy had done, and I can tell he seems sincere, guys. So he actually posted this. I'll link it down below for all of you, apologizing to several teams and to several players out there. If you guys remember his first instigation, or a little instance he had, it was at a DreamHack event with Immortals. They were late to the finals there. Shortly after that, guys, he then threatened FNS. He also apologized to the comments he made to FNS, you know, the whole prove it or I kill you thing. The comments he also made to Thorin, there was some comments about, you know, gay stuff being made about that. He apologized for that, guys. And even again, on top of that, he apologized to both the Immortals organization as well as 100 Thieves for his actions as being a part of both those teams. If you guys remember, as a part of 100 Thieves, they didn't last too long at all due to some visa issues. There were some other rumors out there about some internal turmoil going on with that roster, so apparently some stuff we didn't really know about. He apologized to all those people, all those organizations, all those teams, and it's kind of a cool thing to see. On top of that, though, FNS and Thorin have already replied, pretty much forgiving the guy and excited to see where his future does lie. If you guys do not know, he's currently a part of Esports. They will retain their spot in ESL Pro League next season for Season 9. On top of that, they're already in the North American qualifier, the closed qualifier for the minors. So great to see that team does compete, and they will have a chance to actually make our major qualifier. Where they're going to go, a big question, guys. Can they actually make it? They certainly have a chance, and it's great to see a guy like this looking for redemption, and he has earned my redemption, guys. You guys can have different opinions, of course, but I think he's sincere here. Obviously, a bit time later, he's had time to reflect, but I'm not going to blame the guy for apologizing. Nothing wrong here at all. Do you guys think it's sincere? Do you not? Leave a comment down below. But very lastly, guys, speaking of ESL Pro League, we have now finalized all of our teams who have actually retained their spots or earned their spots next season, and I am super excited to actually see how these teams compete. If you guys do not remember, it was actually last week, guys, ESL announcing European side's going to have 16 teams, North American side's going to stick with 12 teams. It will be Soul Patrol earning their spot, which I was so happy about. We did talk about that. It will be, though, Rogue and Envious retaining their spots and actually doing so quite convincingly. It was actually Team Singularity as well as Can't Win Land joining them in relegation matches, and it was Envious and Rogue actually convincingly retaining their spots. So I do think next season, for North America at least, we will have our best teams there. So congrats to Envious. They retain their spot with that roster. Will that roster make changes? Oh, it is very likely. Well, we'll see if they actually go ahead and do that. On the top of that, though, guys, for the European side of things, some more surprise as well, as Virtus Pro for the fourth straight season, ever since season 5, guys, Virtus Pro will remain in ESEA Mountain Dew League, guys. They actually had quite a few chances this time around. Their first chance against 3D Max, then they went to relegation matches, guys. It was 3D Max earning their first spot, but keep in mind, it was actually Jackson Lucky who actually played for that roster. They still need 2 new members. Of course, Jackson Lucky going to G2. They actually were allowed to play these matches with the team, though, and they qualified 3D Max for Pro League. So I'm excited to see that team compete, and congrats to those guys. After losing 2 of your better players, you still actually get to use them and actually retain and actually keep your spot, or actually earn your spot, which is great to hear. Alongside that, guys, it will be kNg and Optic Gaming earning their spots in relegation matches. Virtus Pro had chance after chance after chance. It's always sad to see this kind of misfortune, guys. And again, like I said before, for now the 4th straight season, ever since season 5, Virtus Pro remains out of EPL, which is, it's just shocking to see an organization of that standard, of that name, still not competing in EPL, guys. But it will be kNg. It's gonna be Taz and the boys actually keeping their spot, or again earning their spot as well. Sorry, I keep on thinking they're a part of it already. And Optic Gaming take advantage of their chances, guys, and yes, they go from North American ESL Pro League back down to European Mountain Dew League by their own choice, because the boys wanted to stay in Europe, and they earned their way through European Mountain Dew League, guys. And of course, with the help of the extension of 2 more teams to the league, it's Optic Gaming who will be joining EPL on the European side next season. And you gotta ask a lot of questions, right? A lot of these teams so far, will they make roster changes to actually keep their spots, or see how they do in EPL? Alongside that, who will sign Swole Patrol? We have seen it's been a long time since an EPL team has gone unsigned by an organization, so expect Swole Patrol, guys. I really do highly expect these guys to be signed. Will Freakazoid stay? I think surely. Will Swag still be there? I think surely. Who would not sign a lineup like that, at least for some time? I cannot wait to see which organization takes a stab at those guys in North American Pro League. And very lastly, guys, finally, I think we have the end of Tempo Storm. No offense to the roster. They have been trying so many things over the past 3 to probably 5 months. We've talked about so many times, guys. They tried out some Polish players, they tried out some French players for a short amount of time before that new Vitality roster was confirmed. They tried out half their roster. HS and Innocent have been the 2 primary players for quite some time now, and as of this morning, guys, Innocent has now been released, his contract terminated, and that leaves 1 player left, the former Optic Gaming member himself, guys. HS, a man of considerable skill, and will Tempo Storm now still try to rebuild around him for the 4th or 5th time? I'll give you guys a long list of players they have tried out over the past year or so, just throughout 2018 and the latter half mostly of this roster so far. Will he stay with them? Will they finally disband their roster altogether? Throughout 2018, guys, Tempo Storm has tried at least 3 CSGO rosters, and I'm excited to see where a guy like Innocent will go, if HS leaves, where he can go. Certainly, guys, a considerable talent out there, and I'm sure there are offers somewhere out there for these guys in the European scene or the North American scene, and I'm excited to see what happens for their future. But very lastly, guys, here's my man Boomble. I call him Boomble. You guys know him by Boomich, though. A man of Windstrike, and you guys do not know he is an absolute legend. Here is him taking on a stream with absolute class.
Мне плевать на дома и тачки. Я хочу, чтобы ты смотрел на мой стиль собачки.
It's like, how do you not like this? How do you not cheer for these guys to be back in the major one more time? But as always, guys, my name is Jake. I do apologize. I did ramble a bit this video because there was so much to talk about. Trust me, I'll be back here tomorrow, though. A lot shorter talking, but a lot greater news out there. Some big things coming to CSGO. And as always, thank you guys for watching the daily CSGO news show. I appreciate you guys very much. Thank you for watching. I will see you all back here tomorrow. As always, my name is Jake. Bye-bye. Boomba.